How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massa Beer Reviews, back with yet another review. A beer I am infinitely pumped for, and that would be Jackie O's Brewing in collaboration with Jester King Brewing. Yeah, Vinyl Entropy. This is a Kolsch-inspired farmhouse beer, and I am just opening this motherfucker, and I'm diving into it. I'll read shit on it while I'm sipping on it, so we'll see what's what. This comes courtesy of my boy Brandon from out Ohio way. He sent off a box of all kinds of stuff, and this is the one that really had my wiener get all hard, so yeah. If this sucks, I'm going to be not just bummed, but super surprised, because Jackie O's is sneaky on the kind of small beer tip, but then you add that stuffings factor to it, it's gotta be good. So yeah, look at that, just rich, soft haze. Looks somewhere between like a Kolsch and a Farmhouse ale. I mean, yeah, both pretty much look similar in and of themselves. Nice white head, tight compact bubbles, but not overly creamy, but a halfy pinky finger. And this is just, you know, they said this is their reinterpretation of a classic Kolsch style ale. So you're talking about Kolsch used to be kind of just a basic farmhouse beer, because you're not going to sit there and do like, nowadays you just kind of Kolsch's are Kolsch's and farmhouse ales are farmhouse ales. Well, you know, you're just talking about kind of like a Kolsch cold fermented kind of farmhouse beer. We're going to see what's what. So let's just dive into this nose. It just smells all the part of like peach skin to me. So you're getting that kind of peach kind of ester from it. A soft, sweet graininess. A mix of like a kind of Pilsen malt to like a little bit of flaked wheat maybe or something like that. So a soft kind of malt vibe. I mean, that way that fruit comes off, it's very much like, you know, when you get fruit flavor from like an IPA that comes off peach, like it comes off more like when you bit into like a really juicy ripened peach. At least the good ones do. On spontaneous beer, on wild beer, on funky mixed culture beer, for me, when something comes off very peach like, it's more like you open doors to a big orchard and you're smelling the whole orchard in and of itself rather than the actual fruit. So it's that whole kind of flora of the whole orchard together. The skins, the stems, the trees, the grass, everything together. That's kind of how peaches and most all fruits, when it comes to like these kind of mixed culture farmhousey style ales, in a perfect world, again, the good ones kind of smell like that, and that's where this one kind of leans. Yeah, we're just diving in. We're gonna drink it. I just want to drink it. I kind of just don't even want to review it. It's dry. It's very dry. Probably a little bit too dry for me, but I think I'm going to acclimate to it with a couple sips. Let's put it that way. So, there's a decent amount of carbonation there. I like it. It has a little bit of champagne effect to it. At least in the initial taste, it's there. It's not like a bubbling, effervescent kind of beer. It definitely follows through with that peach vibe, but it does get a little bit more kind of fleshy, a little bit more under-ripened peach fleshiness, actually, in the taste. Not necessarily a bad thing. It's not overly sweet, but it's more sweet than bittering of a beer. But then whatever sweetness you do get kind of gets kicked to the curb right there, closing in the end, because it does finish really, really dry. Now, as far as this beer goes, it had to have touched wood. I mean, there's no way it didn't. Okay, so they actually warm fermented it with their house culture and then lagered it 5 weeks in cool temperatures. Excuse me. This had to be in wood. It had to be. It's 5.7% alcohol by volume for those keeping score at home. I mean, yeah, I like it. I think it's tasty. I'm not gonna sit here and say it was everything I hoped it would be. It's absolutely fantastic. It's tasty. It's kind of what I want to drink right now, especially in this environment outside. Nice, crisp, clean. But that dryness is just a skosh too big for me for this particular style of beer. If that was knocked down a bit, I think I'd enjoy it just a little bit more. But I think it's kind of like picking nits at this point, and I think it's a really tasty beer. Here's the thing, though. Farmhouse inspired Kolsch. It's just a farmhouse ale. I mean, there's really nothing as far as Kolsch about it. Maybe a little bit of melon vibes, whatever. But I understand it's it's basically it's probably a farmhouse base that they decided to cold filter, so that's the whole Kolsch part of things. But it's really just a peach orchard driven fruit forward vibe, not peach addition, but all coming from those yeast esters kind of farmhouse ale that ends up being a little bit more snappy, a little bit more crisp towards the end than your typical kind of farmhouse ale. Because usually what happens with a farmhouse ale, towards the end, you get this soft, creamy finish to it, maybe a little bit of spiciness, but it doesn't fall off as abruptly. And maybe that's my biggest kind of stick with it. Maybe I might have liked this better if it wasn't cold fermented, because I think if it did have a little bit softer of a decay and didn't chop off at the end, because of that lagering towards the end, that dryness wouldn't be as apparent, wouldn't be as the volume wouldn't be as high. I think it might end up being a little bit more tastier of a beer for me if that was the case, but in the grand scheme of things, it's delicious. Let's talk about it. Is it one of the better farmhouse ales I've had as of late? Yes, even with that going. Just not going to be a King Shoulda Fuck Mountain. Not all beers can be, but it's pretty damn tasty stuff. I can see people loving this one though. Value availability, no idea. Brandon, let me know what's what when it comes to how much this sucker cost, and I'll leave you with it. If you like what we like this beer, if you like farmhouse ales and you want them cold, if you like dryness, whether it be from yeast, whether it be from wood, if you like your beers to finish dry, and you like farmhouse ales, this is going to be right up your alley. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers. If you want to check me out doing the social media stuff, Beer Massive. If you want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing, and hopefully you guys enjoyed our review. Hopefully enjoying a little bit of Jester King and or Jackie O's right now, and hopefully see you next time. Cheers.